Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This time on a very important subject, waifus. I don't usually like making tier lists, but I felt like I needed to make one, considering how much I love Xenoblade 3. I mean, I could have made tier lists for important subjects like class ranking, hero strength, or something to that effect, but they all pale in comparison to the importance of ranking waifus. I don't think I need to warn you, but just in case, there will be spoilers for Xenoblade 3 in this video, so if you haven't played Xenoblade 3, go play it first before coming back. You have been warned. Tier lists are usually subjective. In fact, you might argue about certain characters' placements on my tier list. But today, I want to warn you that for this video, everything I say will be 100% objective and 100% fact. And by watching this video, you have no choice but to agree with all of my placements for the waifu tier list. Because there is no way that I could be objectively wrong. At all. Yep. Okay? Okay. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the main characters, shall we? First, we have Mio. There are a lot of things going for Mio. But there are probably just as many things that lower her placement in my eyes. I mean, sure, she's considerate and passionate, especially with how much she wants to kill her enemies, and just has a nice personality. Just based on those things alone, she should be S tier. But something bugs me about having all those good things. You know what it reminds me of? Asuna from Sword Art Online. You have a perfect girl who does everything, is amazing, and basically a dream to all degenerates out there. But that's the reason she's a dream. Liking Asuna or Mio is like liking vanilla. Sure, we were all children once, but if you become cultured, you know you'll have to take her down to B tier. And there's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise.
But she has cat ears.
Fuck.
I mean, technically Mio's a MILF.
What? How is that possible? No. Wait. We know that Console M is a MILF, but Mio isn't. They're two separate people. But even though we know that M is a MILF, Mio is technically a part of M. And the lore claims that Mio is a part of the regret left behind by M. We know this also because M and Mio were able to swap places during the end of Chapter 5. And M wasn't able to do this with any other character. Since we now know that they are technically the same person, we can now argue that if Mio is a part of M, there's a possibility that Mio is also a MILF like M. But we also know that technically speaking, M was still the one who had a child, and Mio didn't. So this presents us another big problem on whether or not Mio is a MILF. And we're once again put in a dilemma. So we have to ask the important question that could define clone ethics for the next century. If a MILF has a clone that separates, can that clone still be considered a MILF? The point is, I want to believe that Mio is a MILF. So S tier. So next we have Sena. Unfortunately, the game doesn't give us much of Sena. Instead of having an actual side story, we get an additional Ghondor side story instead. I mean, sure, she's cheerful on the outside and insecure on the inside, but since that's resolved by the end of the game, what do we have left? She likes muscle training? And eating? I guess that's something. I mean, when evaluating Sena, before I can even assign a tier, we have to ask the question, is Sena a lolly? To answer that, found this lolly alarm system. If the system determines that I put a lolly in this tier list, it will ring like this. And now that the debate is over, I will be forced to create a lolly tier and put all lollies there from now on, since I don't want to go to jail. Moving on, we have Eunie next. Eunie is the freest S tier we have ever seen. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. For those of you who don't know, this will explain everything.
Yes, Eunie's the boss.
Every time we run, why do we always end up getting drenched? I mean, feathers are a bitch to dry.
You muppet!
Eunie being S tier should be obvious to all. She feels like the one girl in the friend group who acts like a bro, and most of the guys in the friend group have a secret crush on her. Truly powerful and standard of what S tier should be. Now that the main characters are done, we can move on to the heroes. First is Ethel. Well, we don't have her for most of the game, she's more of a kuderi type, and most JRPGs have at least one character who values honor and all that. Aside from that, silver hair is sick, and that outfit design is amazing in all kinds of ways. I think she's kind of bordering on A tier and S tier, but I'm not really sure what to go with. Honor-loving waifus are generally loved, but I'm not sure if it's worth the S tier. Personally, I want to move her to S tier because she reminds me of Laura from Trails of Cold Steel, and she was my favorite waifu when I was playing those games. Next, we have Juniper. I personally don't really like Juniper. She has basically no personality aside from I like nature and I want to protect my friends. I mean, what else is there? Okay, maybe a little. Oh, but only a little. C tier.
But she has cat ears.
Fuck. B tier. Next is Ashera. Honestly, her character design is hot. I especially like the ponytail hairstyle, and based on character design alone, a solid A tier. As her personality, she can talk really well, and is really good at sarcasm for some reason, which is a big plus. She also has this cheerful exterior, but also carries a heavy burden, which is great for character depth. On the flip side, she likes seeking death, so if we translate that to real life, I guess that it means she'd be into extreme sports. Unless you like extreme sports yourself, it'll probably be difficult to go skydiving or something at every possible opportunity. I feel like these kind of balance out, so I think A tier is perfect for Ashera. Next, we have Monica. In the words of Donkey,
And, you say? You know it. I was flipping out. Your actions were so...
S tier. No, I'm just kidding. To be honest, Monica's character design was done really well. You see the wrinkles and signs of age from the weight of responsibility, even though she probably isn't that old yet, considering Gondor's age. The entire design just fits a woman who was forced to take up responsibility and learn to use power in order to fill up her husband's position and lead her people. Personally, she's not really my type, but just based on design and the personality, I think she's a solid A tier. Next is Ghondor. Oh god, I guess I have no choice. But if I had a choice, she'd still be C tier as fuck. Hell, I want to make another bottom tier just for her. She feels like the precocious brat that doesn't really understand anything, but is also acting like she knows everything. Listening to her is really annoying, and she acts like she's important or useful when she's actually not. She also has all these side stories, but feels like she doesn't really grow at all. Annoying ass character deserves to be banished into lolly hell. Next we have Fiona. Probably one of the more annoying characters in the game, honestly. I don't like skipping voice lines for most characters, but for her, I was trying to skip her voice lines like there was no tomorrow. Ooh, kawaii voice. Naive, innocent, annoying as hell. Granted, she sounds much better in English, and it's nice that she got a bit of character growth out of thinking, the world is a nice place and I love everyone, but she's still kinda annoying. Oh, thank god. I would have put her in C tier otherwise. Next is Alexandria.
あらあら冗談でしょ
Plus points everywhere. Onesan type, cute, and powerful. So that's basically S tier as far as I'm concerned. Plus, she's smart, capable, and independent. So she's just a great waifu period. In the words of a very important artist from the mid-2000s, there is something oh so sexy about kind of woman that don't even need my help. Truly inspirational. Only possible downside is that she's ruthless, but by the end of her story, she's not as ruthless, so it's all good. Easy S tier. Next is Segiri. Well, she doesn't have much of personality, considering she literally grew up. Well, she doesn't have much of personality, considering she literally just grew out of acting like a robot. Also, easy lolly tier. I feel like it'd be predatory to take advantage of budding emotions, so let's just leave it there. Next is Miyabi. Except for being Mio's friend, she doesn't really stand out to me much. She has this quiet but determined personality, and that's plus points for sure. Pretty cute. Solid B tier. Lastly, we'll be doing the two rulers since they are also technically party members that can be waifus. We'll do Nia first. The new Queen Nia checks a lot of boxes. She seems poised but is actually clumsy, which can be kinda cute. Plus points for it, but not much. Cat ears are a big plus. And from the picture at the ending, we know that Rex got his undeserved harem. But the most important fact is that Nia is a MILF. And there's soft implication that Mio is one of Nia's descendants. So based on the facts, S tier. And for our final waifu, we have Melia. Now Melia is a real queen. Even back in Xenoblade 1, Melia spoke mostly the same way. But she feels more mature and not as naive in Xenoblade 3. She's eager to learn, forgiving, and just straight up mature, which are great qualities, period. Her new dress and hairstyle looks great compared to what we got from Xenoblade 1, so it's kind of a shock factor to me that gets plus points since they really highlight Melia's growth. A tier. If only we had cat ears. And that's the final tier list. Remember, you can't disagree with anything I put in this tier list. I mean, it's funny since I prioritized all the MILFs, but if you really think about it, aren't Nia and Melia at least 100 years old at this point? Heck, if we take it a step further, since almost everyone in the game lives only for 10 years, isn't everyone else technically under 10 years? Oh. Oh god. Oh god, please no. Oh god, please no. No. Oh. No, I'll be right there, officers. Oh god.